Hey, good morning and happy Sunday. And today I've got Giovanna Franklin, our very own homeopath and incredible healer, who is coming to Stonehaven Festival. Giovanna, good morning. How are you?
Hi, good morning. I'm good. I'm coming out of a cold,
I
but
think
I'm much better now. So I'm great. Lovely to see you.
I think a lot of people are. That I was away with my wee grandkids, and both the small ones had the sort of temperature and runny nose, and everybody you're talking to is either just coming out of it or going into it. I thought I was a wee bit sniffly, and I was like, oh. Anyway, so the body's upgrading. That's what I keep saying to my daughters. It's just the upgrade. It's learning. So, your hair's looking fab, by the way. Let's talk about Stonehaven. I'm very, very excited for us to get there. It's just such a phenomenal. Do you know the place at all?
No,
It's
I've never been,
oh
and
my
that's the
god,
beauty about Heal Scotland because I'm based in Glasgow, and Heal Scotland has taken me to places I would never have thought of even exploring. So I'm really grateful for that.
I know. Well, last year was great, wasn't it? Because we had Aberfeldy, which was a phenomenal venue,
Oh yes,
and Strontian, another great venue. Um,
yes.
yes, I totally agree. Stonehaven's beautiful, and on the Friday night we're down at Dave's sup and sauna place. So
Mhm.
we'll start off there with contrast bathing and fish and chips, and then we'll move obviously to the town hall for the rest of the workshops and seminars and all the amazing stuff that we're having. Um, so you are obviously you're. Just give us a little overview on homeopathy, will you, for people that don't know, before we go into what you're actually going to be doing at the festival.
Okay, so yes, so homeopathy, for those who are not familiar, is a system of medicine and it's based on a highly dilution of natural substances, and it can be herbs, minerals, it can be anything really at all that is diluted and then worked on through an alchemical process, which I will explain as well. And it's not complicated, by the way, but it is an alchemical process that unlocks the healing properties of any substance. So, for example, you can have in herbal medicine, you can use things like St. John's wort. I always use this example, which is used in herbal medicine as a mild antidepressant.
Uh-huh.
Now, if you transform the same herb into a homeopathic remedy, and you see that the healing properties of St. John's wort amplify many, 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 many folds. And so it doesn't just help with antidepressant, but it also helps with the nervous system. It helps with nerve endings. It helps with physical pain and so on. So any substance that you may already know, like in this case, turquoise, if you transform it, if you turn it into a homeopathic remedy, you will notice that the healing properties are really much more amplified, they're stronger, they're tangible. So this is
Yes.
what I'm going to do in the specific in Stonehaven. I'm going to present turquoise as homeopathic remedy. And that is also the subject of my latest book, which I'm also going to show and to present. It's a story of how this remedy came about. So everybody, I assume most people will be familiar with turquoise. First of all, it's a gemstone, like this, but also in traditional crystal healing, gemstones like turquoise have been known for literally thousands of years. And it is already established, it is well known that turquoise as a gemstone is very good as a sense of, to give a sense of calm, serenity. It has an affinity with the throat chakra, so communication. It's good for the immune system. But when it's transformed into a homeopathic remedy, the healing properties, as I say, are really, really much more amplified. Now, this turquoise as a homeopathic remedy has been there for about 20 years already. But what I decided to do last October was organize a workshop and create a remedy from turquoise from scratch, but going beyond what is the usual technique preparation to make homeopathic remedies. So we went a little bit further. And again, I will explain exactly what I mean in Stonehaven. And we realized that the effects were really incredible. We did not know what to expect to begin with, because it really was an experiment. And it's still ongoing, but the results have been really amazing. I would say that, just to give you a preview, what we found with this remedy is that the effects are really profound and transformational, but not in the sense that, you know, you're going to sprout wings and you're going to start seeing auras and things like that. The transformation comes from the fact that this remedy really helps you align to who you really are, and then communicate and then show to yourself and to the rest of the world with confidence who you really are, and to follow your path. And this is done, and this has happened over and over and over to most people who have tried this remedy, because we have done a lot of testing, and it's amazing the results. So that's what the transformation is, and I thought that this is really an important remedy, because it gives you the self-confidence to be who you are. And once you know who you are and you align to who you are and what you're supposed to be, there is no conflict. You don't need to, there's no confrontation, because you know who you are. You don't need to shout it out. You don't need to confront people to say, well, I'm going to do this and this is it. And no discussion. It comes with a calm self-confidence, a peaceful self-confidence, because there is no need to argue about it. And if there is no argument, there is alignment. That's where your health comes from. That's your homeostasis. That's your balance. Because I was really reminded, Dr. Edward Bach, the inventor of the Bach flower remedies, that was his whole principle. The disease comes from misalignment. It comes primarily from an energetic fracture between who you are supposed to be and your lifestyle and what you're actually doing, which may not be in alignment. A silly example, but we see that all the time. You know, when you are stuck in a job that you hate, just to pay the mortgage, when you're stuck in a relationship that's not working, but you're too scared of getting out, when you have a kind of inkling, you have so many people have come to me after trying turquoise. They had this desire to be a therapist, to be an artist, to be something a little bit outside of the paradigm that they were given, but they never had the courage. They feared the judgment. And it wasn't anything extraordinary that they wanted to do. I mean, it wasn't like, you know, running away with the circus. It was just, you know, I've always known that I am a therapist. I always know that I'm a healer. I've always known that I'm an artist. I want to create things. I want to be creative. But there's so many things all the time. Oh, but I've got, you know, family and my husband doesn't like it and da, 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 da. And then this realization comes in, you know what, I'm going to do this. And it's natural. It feels natural. That's when you know it's right. Because like I said, there is no conflict. There is no arguing. You just do it because you know that it's right. You know that it's the truth. And if we could all, that would be amazing. If we could all have this inner knowing, there would be no arguing, there would be no hating, there would be no envy, there would be no jealousy, and there would be no wars. And it would be so amazing. Just everybody going into the power. Because like I said, this remedy doesn't give you superpower because the superpower is already there. It just gives you the awareness that it's already there and you can use it. So this is what I'm going to talk about, like in a nutshell.
Fantastic. And I mean, I don't think there's ever been a more important time for this, yeah? I mean...
Yeah, and that's why I called my book, Journey into Turquoise, Medicine for the 21st Century, because I really think we're ready. We're kind of on the verge. We're on the verge. And I think maybe we need something to help this process along. You know, like what you were saying before we came on, you know, we're upgrading. Yes, we are. I do think we are upgrading. Our DNA has been upgraded. What if maybe we need all the help we can get?
Absolutely.
So maybe I think turquoise really, really might help. So this is the book, by the way, and I'm going to take you to Stonehaven. And it's not a massive book, but I decided to write it because I really wanted to chronicle the process, how we did it. So it's a kind of technical book as well, as in a recipe book, because by the way, we can all do this. You don't need to be a homeopath.
You're saying we. Who's we?
Right. So the workshop that I organized, I was running the workshop, and then it was a group of homeopathy students, homeopaths, and people who wanted to participate in this. And we all went to New Mexico, Taos, New Mexico. The reason for that, there are lots of reasons, but I wanted to work on turquoise that was locally sourced, ethically sourced, and I wanted to be in the land of turquoise because I wanted to feel that energy. New Mexico, for those who are maybe don't know, has still a very, very big presence of Native Americans, particularly the Navajos, and turquoise is a massive part of Native Americans' life and traditions. And so I wanted to tap into that kind of culture and energy, but also I wanted to show respect to that culture and energy. I didn't just want to go grab the gemstone, come back here and do my thing. I wanted to be there in person. So it was a beautiful, beautiful long weekend that we spent together working on the stone, working on the remedy. It's a physical because it entails grinding, literally pestle and mortar. Like I said, it's an alchemical process. We never took the remedy internally. We never tasted it. It doesn't have any smell, any you don't inhale it. It was just working on it, and that's the supernatural power of alchemy. Because simply by working on this remedy, we were changing, we were shifting. The energy was changing all the time. There are different stages of this process, and at each stage, we were different. It was almost surreal, but it was real, and the effects were really long lasting. And then once we obtained the remedy, which I'm also going to bring to Stonehaven, so people can actually take it.
Yeah, bring me one, a book and a remedy, please.
Yes.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm going to bring bring a batch of both. And then once we obtained the physical remedy, we started to test the remedy itself, again, with a group of volunteers, a different group this time. And then we collected the results. And I'm still collecting the results because I'm giving this remedy to patients, to anybody who asks. And then I collect the feedback. And it's amazing how similar the feedback really is.
Really?
So
Fascinating.
So it works.
Yes, and there's just something about the Native American culture. You know how, I mean, obviously the only place I've been where I was kind of around that culture was in Sedona in Arizona. And you just know they're just so connected to our land and our elements and and the respect that they have for our land and our elements that we simply don't have because we didn't realize, we were never taught about living in symbiosis with nature, because if we do that, we will stay well and the land will keep on giving and giving and giving as it does. So how many tons of this stuff have you got?
Well, because I have the recipe, so I can make it. So this remedy at the moment, I am the only one who has it. It's not been, let's say, mass produced yet. For those who don't know, you can get homeopathic remedies from homeopathic pharmacies. Funnily enough, there is one in Glasgow. And then the main one, which is international, is Helios Homeopathy down in London. And they have all the remedies, including the traditional turquoise remedy. But the one that we made, like I said, and I will explain more in depth in Stonehaven, has been prepared with a different technique. It's called C5, because the level of grinding, there are different rounds of grinding when you're preparing a remedy. And typically you get to the third level, and we push to the fifth level. And there is a specific reason why I went to the fifth level. The number 5 is also something that I think we really need to pay attention to. And there's an amazing number of synchronicities. I didn't know this at the time, but the Hopi prophecy talks about the fifth world that we are on the verge of coming into, and I thought that was really mind blowing, because number 5 has been everywhere since we started this process. So, and people talk about the fifth dimension and all the rest of it. So yes, so the number 5 and the fifth level. This is also something else that I explain in the book, and I will explain when we're in Stonehaven as well. I mean, there's a lot of stuff. I mean, it's an incredibly simple process. Simple, it's elegant, but at the same time, there is so much in it, and it comes from a long way back. And going to Taos I realize now, was essential. I could not have understood as much just by making a remedy here.
Yeah, I mean, it's so much about the people as well, isn't it? And
yes,
the kind of information that we're all taking on right now, which is can be pretty overwhelming for people. But all these ideas are coming out and coming through. Well, what I believe coming through the field, not coming from other humans. And sometimes it doesn't make sense, but you really just have to follow your intuition. And I mean, I think that's so exciting. It's incredible. Because I've not really had a chance to speak to you since you went there, but I knew there was cool stuff going on there, and we know that there's certain land masses where people that are very connected gather, and I just think right now it's really hugely important for us to be around these people that are really moving out the old kind of dogma of what education was and into these realms where we really understand that the planet's holding all the answers for us. And if we tune in, we'll be guided. And that's
Yes,
clearly.
and that was another thing that we all felt so strongly with this remedy, intuition and almost telepathy. I mean, honest to goodness telepathy. That was the thing that absolutely spooked me almost, because once we reached the 5th level, working on the remedy, we started to, all of us started to have downloads, and what I would describe as downloads. And for some individuals, it was literally visions that they would describe or draw. For me, it was words that would just drop into my mind. And the crazy thing was that a word or a phrase would come into my mind, and then the person next to me would say it out loud.
Yes.
With the same words. And this happened over and over while we were working on this. And it was really like, yes, this, so the 5th level in homeopathy, and I will explain that, is the level of collective consciousness. Mm-hmm. And that's what we were all feeling. We were all in the same consciousness, and we could literally feel each other's thoughts and feelings and sensations. It was really, I had never, I'm not a person who does, particularly, supernatural.
No,
I don't see things.
I totally agree. I think much as I've kind of understood that, that we are all connected, and that the waves travel, the photons and the phonons and sound and through the cells, etc. And it makes complete sense if you can pick up your phone and speak to my sister in Canada, that there is a wave that is traveling on. So why can't I tune into that? But when it starts happening to you, I had an experience during the breath work where I was holding one of my friends, and I just knew her mum was there. Now, I've never had that before. I was like, whoa. I didn't even say anything, right? Because you do think, I mean, I know that people feel and see that, but when it actually happens to you, you're like, holy. As you say, it's almost a bit spooky. But this is where we're going, right? I mean, telepathy.
Yes, that is definitely where we're going. And again, it ties into, we talked before about the telepathy tapes, and how, everybody's talking about the veil thinning, between our 3D world and whatever is beyond it. So it's like it's happening. So I really felt like, okay, I'm participating. We can all participate and help it along with this remedy. It's just a small thing, of course. I mean, I'm not saying this is, the discovery of the century, but I just felt really like we were part of something so much bigger, and we were right in it, and it felt so good. It was just good. And again, bear in mind, we were not taking anything. We were just working. And I was not even doing that, because my role was, I was the timekeeper. So there is a very, very specific, process. So you have to grind and scrape, and for a very precise number of minutes. So I was there, with a stopwatch and checking in, and then checking that everybody was okay. But I was not even doing the work. I was just in the room.
You were in the energy of the space, though, and the process.
Yes. And we had a dog in the room, and you could see the dog changing, and there was a toddler in the room as well with us. It was one of the participants' son, and he was changing, under our very eyes as we, went on different stages. So you can't say it's placebo, you know what I mean? It was so tangible.
Yes, that's the thing. And we like to, well, the conscious mind likes to explain things, doesn't it?
Yes. Yeah.
And we're moving into a time where things are, well, maybe more difficult or more mind stretching to explain. And, it's like Joe Dispenza's work, when it's really just talking about if you can get enough human beings into coherence, which clearly when you're in these processes, you will be, because you're in alignment, right? And you're following your intuition. And so everybody that's involved in the process will go into coherence, and that obviously is when we change effortlessly.
Yes, exactly. That's the thing. When you know it's good and you know it's the truth when it's effortless.
Yeah.
It feels natural because it is.
Yes, exactly. Well, that's very exciting. I look forward to hearing a lot more about that and getting that remedy as well, because I love to try these things, and I certainly love to try it if it's new and hardly anybody else has ever tried it. So what about people that aren't going to be at the festival and but would love to try your remedy and buy your book? Where can they get that?
Okay, so my book is on Amazon, is available on Amazon. And I'll just show it again. It's this one. It's got a really lovely, I love the
it's beautiful cover.
The cover. It was actually one of the participants in the workshop is a graphic designer, and she made that for me, and it's just, I love it. So that's on Amazon. The remedy. Sorry.
What's the book called?
Journey into Turquoise.
Journey into Turquoise. It's not coming up. It's weird. Can you find the link?
If you go to Amazon and you put in Journey into Turquoise book, it should come up.
Let me see. Here we go. There we go. Got it now. Yeah, I wanted to put the link on, just make it easy for people, you know.
But if you buy it from me on the day in Stonehaven, I'm actually offering a discount. So I'm going to bring a few copies, and if you want to try the remedy, if you're not in Stonehaven, you can actually get it from my website. It's homeopathyheal.co.uk/shop.
Okay, I'll put that link in too. Then people can just find it really easily. It's just so much easier if the links are in. Awesome, that's great. Right, well, it's what, we'll be there a week. Are you coming up on the Friday?
Yes, I'm coming. I'll be there Friday afternoon. So great. I'll be in for the fish and chips.
My wee grandson lives there, so I'm going to go up on the Thursday night to get to spend some time with him.
Oh, that's really nice.
But I will see you on the Friday afternoon.
Yes.
Where are you staying?
I actually booked an apartment. It's on the high street on the harbour. And the reason was that we were all going to come, so I booked an apartment for 4 people. But then different things happened, so it's just me coming.
Oh, is it? So that's nice. You've got a whole place to yourself.
So yeah, so I'll have the whole place to myself. You know, it's just life and things like that. And my daughter just started work, and she's got night shifts, and it's a whole thing. So yeah, okay.
Great stuff. Okay, well, listen, thanks so much for your time. Have a lovely Sunday, and I will see you next week.
Ciao, ciao. Thank you. Bye.
Bye.